Welcome to the Oracle of Light. I'm Shauna, and I'm really glad you're here. This podcast is a space for slowing down, for reconnecting with yourself, and for remembering the wisdom that already lives inside you. Here we talk about intuition, healing, growth, grief, spirit, and what it truly means to come home to yourself, especially during the seasons of life that feel uncertain or overwhelming. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be fixed or changed. You just need to take a moment to breathe and to listen and reconnect with who you really are. So wherever you are right now, take a breath with me, let your shoulders drop, and let's begin. Today, I'd like to talk about something that comes up over and over again in my work, and it's something that I've lived myself more than once. It's this idea that when life gets overwhelming, when your nervous system is maxed out, when you're exhausted or you're grieving, you're under pressure, you just don't have that bandwidth, your intuition seems to disappear. And people tell me all the time, I used to be so intuitive. I used to be, able to get my own answers, my own guidance. I used to know what the next step was. I don't hear anything anymore. I'm not getting anything. I feel blocked. I feel stuck. And what I want to start by saying is your intuition hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. Your sixth sense, your awareness, your spidey senses, it hasn't shut down. It hasn't abandoned you. It's simply got quiet. And there's a very real reason why it does that. And in this episode, I'd love to help you understand what that looks like and what you can do to start getting things flowing again for yourself. Intuition is it's not a performance, if you will. Somewhere along the way, intuition got framed as something that should be loud and dramatic and constant, and like you should always be receiving messages, and the clouds are going to part, and there's going to be this angel or this guide that's going to be sitting there telling you all the secrets of the universe, always feeling guided, always on. But intuition doesn't work like that. Intuition is very subtle. It's relational. It's responsive to safety. So if your nervous system isn't feeling safe, if you are scattered, if you've got a ton of distractions around you, our intuition is just a little bit more difficult to sort of reach. That's the best way I can describe it. And again, it's very subtle. It's very, unless it's, there have been certain times in my life where it has been loud. It's been, kind of in my face. And those instances are usually, if there's, something life-threatening, or there's like something really big, if there's something involving my safety, it's like, then the universe will come in and say, hey, wait, you need to stop. We need to look at this. And so when your system feels calm and supported, resourced, your intuition flows more easily. Not because you're better or worse than somebody else, not because you stopped meditating 6 months ago, not because you don't have, a daily spiritual practice, but because your body has the capacity to listen. Again, your intuition, your awareness, your spidey senses, hearing your angels and guides, connecting to your guardian angel, hearing the whispers of your soul, they're all subtle. They're subtle. And if we're busy and distracted and focused on so many different things, and I talk about this on our TikTok lives. If you want to come over and join us, we're on lives over on TikTok 3 days a week, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 5 Mountain Standard Time. I'm Shauna DeMelon Medium everywhere. So if you'd like to come follow me on socials, you'll find me at Shauna DeMelon Medium on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. And we talk about this oftentimes. People are not understanding, like I'm not getting the signs. I'm not dialed in the way that I used to be. But we look at how much distraction there is now. Right? Like people have watches chirping. We've got our phones chirping. We've got how many different computer monitors on. Then maybe we're going to go watch Netflix or play a video game, or, go and have dinner with our friends. And we've got a multitude of ideas and different things that we want to work on in our mind. And it's like our minds are just going. And that causes this distraction. And it just makes it harder for us to capture those intuitive nudges, those hits, if you will. And so when you're overwhelmed, your system isn't trying to connect to that higher insight. Honestly, it really isn't. It's more like it's moved into survival mode. And survival mode, it doesn't mean that we've failed or we've done anything wrong. It's just sort of an intelligence thing. I know that when I'm really sick, I don't feel good. It's like it's a little bit more muddled for me to hear my guidance. Like it's, if I'm deeply grieving, if I'm, anxious about something, if I'm frustrated, it's like the bandwidth is, my physical body is taking up that bandwidth, and that just it sort of chews into what I have available to connect with my guides and my angels and my inner knowing. And so again, it's not that we're doing anything wrong or that we're failing. It's just there's a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of juju, if you will. And if it's being allocated to, kids are running in 8 different directions. Maybe someone's going through a divorce. They're deeply grieving. Maybe they're having sort of an awakening and they don't really know what direction to go in. Maybe there's uncertainty with work. There's certainly uncertainty on the planet, that's for sure. And so all of these different things can sort of impact. Intuition is inside. It's your time to come inside, and it's a safe, sacred space that you create within yourself. And in doing that, it'll help you to navigate anything that's coming up in your world, anything at all. When you're overwhelmed, again, financially, emotionally, physically, hormonally, where are my menopause girls? Your nervous system shifts into protection, right? Like if you've just gone through a horrible breakup, you've been betrayed, you got your heart broken, someone ghosted you, someone has hurt you, that's going to impact your nervous system. That's going to impact how you feel. And when your nervous system is dysregulated, that's going to impact your intuition. And people hear me talk about this all the time, right? Like spirit energy is subtle and it's fast. And so if we are off in a multitude of different directions, if we're, trying to multitask and get 18 things done before dinner, and we're not present. We need to be in the present moment to be able to access this, to be able to hear the whispers of our soul. Okay. So your body will prioritize what's the threat, right? And it doesn't have to be life-threatening. What's the threat? What needs to be handled right now? What is it that can wait? And intuition lives in the same space as creativity, presence, imagination, and subtle perception. So this is why you'll get hits, intuitive hits they seem like they're random times, but they're actually not. So, you're doing the dishes, you're doing something mundane. It's like, boop, you've created a space for that intuition to start to flow again. You've created a space for your guides, your inner knowing, your higher self, your angels, your loved ones, whatever that looks like for you. You've created a space for them to come in, right? So when you're doing the dishes, you're folding laundry, you take the dog for a walk. Meditation is huge, 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 huge. But it's more the mundane things. When we actually step out of going, I have to get this done, I have to get this done, I have to get that done. And it's like somehow we've assigned, if I get more done, it means that I have more value. If I get more done, it means I'm going to get more in return. But that isn't necessarily how it works. Trust me, I know. And so intuition is, again, it's in those spaces where we're creative. Do you ever just sit down with a warm cup of tea or a coffee and just read a book? And just your nervous system is calm, just all is well in the world. And you just start to get these little nuggets, these little glimmers, these little insights. Hey, I should reach out to that person. I haven't talked to them for a while. And you reach out and you have such an incredible conversation. Or you get like the next step for your business. I think I'd like to create this, and you create whatever it is, and your people are loving it. Hey, I think I'm going to go to the farmer's market on Saturday instead of Sunday, and you go and you bump into somebody special, right? So it's that in that space, that creative space, that, when our nervous system is regulated, it's calm, the world is good. That's also where those synchronicities will pop in. That's where you can be guided. You'll get those intuitive hits, or that's what I call them. And so if your intuition feels quiet right now, it doesn't mean that you're disconnected. It really doesn't. It means that your body is asking for support, not pressure. And so the intuition, again, lives in that creative space, present, in the now, creative, okay? And I've talked about this in some of my other classes, that when we are triggered, overwhelmed, it's like our prefrontal cortex, the juicy part of our brain, actually goes offline. And then it's like our vagus nerve needs to be reset, And it's like when we are offline like that, we're not in alignment with what's true for us. So if we're out of alignment, our system is dysregulated, and we start taking action from this space, like if I do more, if we start hustling, if we start pushing, if we start really trying to make things happen, make things go, yeah, trying to control stuff, we're going to have a do-over because we're not in alignment. And that prefrontal cortex is the juicy part that we need that online. Okay. So if you're finding that you're getting triggered and you're overwhelmed, one of the best things that we can do that will kind of bring everything back online and help our vagus nerve to start doing its magic again is the simplest way is breathing. I know it sounds simple, but if you'll do this now with me, breathe in for the count of 4, hold just for a second or 2, and then release for 8. So the inhale is for 4, hold for a couple of seconds, release for 8. Okay, so we're going to do that a couple of times. In for 4 and release for 8. You do this 3 or 4 times, that's going to calm your nervous system. That's going to help bring you back online. Do you ever notice whenever things are really frustrating, you're just kind of like, that your body knows how to do this, because again, your intuition is subtle. Your ego is the one that wants to have control and it wants to figure everything out. And so when you are dysregulated, and you'll know when you're dysregulated, you just feel discombobulated. You just don't feel settled. You feel irritated, anxious. You just feel like, you just feel like a ball of knots. That's when you're dysregulated. And so my intention is to fill your spiritual toolbox, is what I call it, with different tools and techniques that you can try and implement to bring you back online as quickly as possible. Because again, if we are not in alignment, if our prefrontal cortex is offline, we're not going to make the best decisions. You don't want to be hasty. You don't want to be reacting from this space, because you're going to have a do-over. You're going to say stuff that's not you. You're going to say stuff. You're going to do things. And we want to minimize that. We've all done things that we wish we could do over again. Trust me. We've all said things we're like, I wish I just, right? So again, I always tell my clients, my coaching clients, if you get triggered, find some space. Go to the restroom, go sit in your bathroom, go for a walk, just go sit in your car, just give yourself that, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it takes to calm yourself down again, because then you're clear, then you're in alignment with the best version of you. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So why forcing our intuition backfires? Yes. One of the most common things I see people do, especially intuitive, empathic, my spiritual peeps, is they try to force their intuition back online. Like I should know better. I'm intuitive. I have several clients that do similar work to me, and they work with people. They're like, I should be able to figure this out. We're all on our own journey. First and foremost, we are all on our own journey. We all have different upbringings. We've all had different hurts, traumas, losses, you name it. Our souls are all here to grow and explore and create. And that's unique to all of us. That's like a fingerprint. A snowflake. None of us, there's no 2 snowflakes the same. Just like my soul, there will never be another Shauna DeMelon, just like in this lifetime. Never. Just like there will never be another you. That's how magical you are. That's how incredible you are. Okay. So some people think if I meditate more journaling, more asking, more trying, the intuition doesn't respond. It doesn't work on demand like that. And again, if we're pushing and pushing and pushing, it's like we're pushing it farther away. And then it comes back to another thing that I want to give you is like, imagine you when you're calm, you're centered, you've got this. Everything's going to work out. It's believing that everything's going to work out, even when we don't have evidence in our current reality. That's really what it comes down to. It's knowing that you can handle anything, knowing that, you know what, if you get triggered as fuck, just go have a timeout. Seriously, go have a timeout. Tell your loved ones, I just need a couple of minutes. Just give me a couple of minutes. And because if you stay and you push and you force conversations, there's a wounded part of you that's been triggered. Triggers are not what's happened in the moment. Triggers are touching something that happened in the past that hasn't had space to heal or come to the surface yet. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful thing when we have these things come up. But you need to have the awareness to go, okay, wait a minute. What just happened? Did I hear something? Did somebody say something? And it's okay to say, I just got triggered as fuck. I don't know. That just touched something in me. It's not the other person. Okay, it's not the other person. Abuse, that's another whole thing. I'll help you pack. That's just a fucking no. But when we come back to it, it's like, no, it's like I just got triggered, because in relationships, we're going to get triggered. You can do all the personal growth work on the planet. You can read all the books, take all the classes. You can travel around the world and do retreats and chant by the moon and do all these things. That's wonderful. But the true integration is actually in those relationships, because you're going to get triggered as fuck. You just are, right? Like and because you're in a safe container where your stuff is going to start to come up. Those intimate relationships are going to brush against things that haven't fully integrated or that they're ready to heal. So I kind of look at them like, okay, this is what's coming up for me, and this is what we're going to work through. And it's okay. We're going to figure it out. We're human. We're not perfect. We're not robots. We have feelings. We have emotions. We have hurts. We have backstories. We've got stuff. And that's okay. We're not ever going to get away from it. Okay? So, again, our intuition doesn't respond on demand. Okay? It's not a doing. It's sitting and receiving. It's sitting in the energetic of, I'm okay. I've got this. Whew. Okay, it responds to safety. That's when you're going to hear it. Okay, if your body's tired, scared, grieving, inflamed, overloaded, asking it to perform, your intuition, your answers, your clarity, come on, give it to me, is like asking someone to have a deep conversation when their house is on fire. Okay, of course it goes quiet. And the quiet isn't punishment, it's protection. That's how incredible our systems are set up, okay? So our quiet intuition is still working. Here's the part that most people don't realize. Even when intuition feels quiet, it's still working, just in a subtle way, just in a different way. It may show up as a strong no, a need for rest, pulling back, simplifying, changing your plans, protecting your energy, leaving early, okay? This is your intuition. It really is. So, and even for myself, when I'm overloaded, in this last year, I received a diagnosis and we're going to be in remission soon. So I'm very excited about that. But in the moments where, we were doing a heavy detox and we're adding things in and we're trying to shift and change things, some days my spidey senses weren't on point. And if I'm not on point, I don't work with clients. I wasn't able to do as many lives. I had to reschedule some classes, and that's okay, because I need to give my body the space that she needs to heal and recalibrate. Because if my body is needing that downtime and I don't give it to her, it's just, trust me, I tried. Until we had the correct diagnosis, trust me, I tried. I was like, I kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And I thought, if I do more, and it doesn't work like that. That's the biggest lesson that I've learned, is that we need to slow down, because pushing and pushing and pushing, I was missing stuff. And I was like, damn, I wanted to set that up, and that class didn't go off right. And we missed the opportunity to host in that space. And there was so many things that weren't working. And when I look back now, I see that it was all working perfectly. I just was so out of alignment. I was just so out of alignment because my body was asking for downtime. Okay, so let this land. Sometimes intuition isn't here to give you the answers. Sometimes it's here to say, slow down, not yet. You're right where you're meant to be. Everything is working out the way it's supposed to. Okay, take care of your body first. And that guidance is just as sacred. One of my mantras every day is, something wonderful is going to happen today. Something wonderful is going to happen today. Yesterday, we got the notification that we're now a YouTube partner. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't even. I'm just so excited. It's taken quite a bit to get to that. And I'm just so excited for what we're going to create. We're just expanding and helping as many people on the planet as we can. So as soon as it happened, I was like, thank you. There's the proof. Something good is happening. And that was all behind the scenes. I didn't have control over that. I was like, I wonder when this will happen. That's another one that I always ask. I'm like, I wonder when this is going to happen, or I wonder what it's going to take. I could see the numbers. I could see, because there's, again, certain criteria you have to meet. And so every day I would check and I'm like, oh, it's getting close. It's getting close. And it was like, okay, I trust and I know that this is going to happen. And I wasn't getting anything from my guides. That's the other thing too. Just because you're not getting that intuition, that hit, that answer from your guides, it doesn't mean that you're missing anything. Sometimes, you're just meant to be a human. I tell people I'm a mercurial earth girl. Okay. I have trauma. I have lived through hell and back. I've had tremendous, tremendous loss in this lifetime, tremendous betrayal, and I'm still standing. And my mission is to help as many people as I can. My mission is to help people to remember that they're beautiful, they're amazing, they're perfect. There's nothing wrong with them, right? Sure, we all make mistakes. Sure, again, we wish we could have a do-over. But when we're living a spirit-led life, it's showing up authentically. I'm the first person to say, I am so sorry. I didn't mean that, or help me, let me fix it. Or I'm all about communicating, probably because I'm a life coach in the work that I've done for 20 years now. I'm always about communicating, but I know when to not try to push something. I come back to, how does it feel in my body? That's another thing. This is a practice that we do on in my classes and on the TikTok lives. We're going to start doing more TikTok. We're going to start doing YouTube lives over here as well. So for all of my YouTube community, don't worry. If you want to come join us on TikTok, you can, but we'll start doing some more lives over here on YouTube as well. So right now, put your hands over your heart. And I want you to say out loud or silently, my body likes to drink bleach. And then just simply notice where that lands. Okay. Do you feel something tight? And it depends on how your gifts work as well. I feel a clench in my gut. I see a stop sign. I see a yuck face. I hear no. It just feels off. Like there's just something not right about that. Okay. That's your body telling you no. And if you're not getting anything right now, it's okay. Just keep practicing. It just means we need a little bit more practice. That's all. And you can drop in the comments below what your yes and no are. So now we're going to clear that energy. Same thing. Put your hand over your heart. My body likes to drink water. How does that feel? For me, it's like a lightness in my chest. I see a green check mark. I see a checkered flag for yes, go. I hear yes. It feels light. It feels like champagne bubbles in my heart. That's your body telling you yes. And again, if you're not getting anything just yet, that's okay. I want you to continue to practice. Just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. If you want to really practice this, go to the grocery store and go pick up like a box of like Lucky Charms or something that has a lot of added sugars and different colors in it. And yes, we grew up eating them. Yes, they were delicious. I wish I could eat them now, but I can't. But I invite you to go and pick up something that you know is not good for your body. And then just tune in. Okay, truth, would my body like to have this? And notice what you feel in your body. And then go pick up, a piece of fruit, an apple or an orange or something that you really love. And then notice how your body feels, okay? So again, it's very subtle, okay? All right. And again, sometimes the intuition isn't here to give us the answers. Some people are like, well, I should get all the answers to the universe. And it doesn't work that way. I don't even have all the answers to the universe because my soul's journey is here to grow and create and learn. And I always tell people, like, I'm a mercurial earth girl. Again, I don't have all the answers. I have an ego. I have trauma. I have stuff that I've had to work through over the years. But yes, I connect with those higher realms. And yes, I connect with the highest version of me. And I'm so blessed to share that with people. So how our intuition returns. We've given you a few different things. Your intuition comes back online naturally when the nervous system feels safer. So you notice when you feel good, you feel calm, you're driving in the car, you're doing mundane things, you're just having fun, you're out in nature, maybe after a workout, right? Your favorite song comes on, you're gonna go meet your friend for a coffee, whatever it is, that's when those little snippets will start to drop. Because we're not creating all this resistance. That's kind of what it is. It's like when we're anxious, we're worried, we're trying to figure stuff out. It's like we're putting up walls and we're creating resistance without even knowing it. So when those walls are down, there's no resistance, life is good, we'll figure it out, fuck it. Fuck it, we'll figure it out. We have a tax bill coming up, all right, we'll figure it out, fuck it, we'll handle it. Okay. Last year in the business, I didn't hit the targets I was looking to hit in that last quarter. And I was mad about it. And I was like, oh, if this doctor had done her job, we would have known what was going on. And I was getting mad and frustrated. And then the coach I work with, she reminded me, she said, no, she said, you figured it out. Out of all of these people that you hired to help you, you figured it out. And I was like, okay, yeah, I did. I figured it out. As messy and as yucky as that was, I figured it out. Fuck it. We didn't hit that number. What will it take to double it this year? What will it take to hit it this year? Right? So again, it's just allowing that information. Our intuition, again, is inside. It's inside is really what the meaning of that is. That's our intuition. It's how we experience our world. Does that make sense? Okay. So again, our intuition comes back online naturally when the nervous system feels safer, not because you worked harder, but because you listened. We slow down. We create space for it. Okay, soft, reassuring tones that might look like more sleep, fewer decisions, gentle movement, nourishing food, emotional honesty, speaking from your heart, letting yourself be human, letting people see that you get upset. Sometimes in readings, I have to fight back the tears just because I've seen it. There's evil walking around on this planet. And the things that I've seen done to loved ones and to hold space for their families, it's just, I allow myself to feel those emotions. If I'm really, really emotional, my cheeks start to heat up. Okay. It is, right? Like I'm so empathic, right? And so allow that to come out. Allow people to see you. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, right? Like there's nothing that can't be fixed. I think a lot of people think, well, I fucked this up or I did that. It's okay. Like nothing, there isn't anything that's happened that can't be fixed or repaired, or we can start over. One of my, I have a beautiful friend. We chatted this week, and we haven't chatted for a while. A few years ago, we both got involved with this modality is what I'll call it. That has been it's been a lot of people have blown the whistle on the cultish behaviors of this particular thing is what we're going to call it. We're not going to go into the names of it, but I haven't talked to this person for a while. And I've always thought she was lovely. She just sort of dropped off. And I thought, okay, I hope she's doing okay. And she said to me, she said, I'm really sorry for being a see you next Tuesday. And I said, what? I said, I never thought you were. She goes, yeah. She says, I was. I wasn't. I'm really sorry. I want to be able to say that. And I said, well, thank you for saying that. I love you. I think you're amazing. I'm grateful that we're connected now. And she was like, thank you for letting me say that. Thank you for letting that land. I said, of course. I'm always willing to have a conversation. Always willing to have a conversation. And so that, again, that was my intuition. My intuition guided me to reach out to her. And since I've reached out to her, she's given me so much information. She's got a friend that's booked a session with me. Like it's just been absolutely incredible. And if I was busy and all over the place, I wouldn't have been in that space to receive that nugget, to receive that little insight, that inspired action step. You see, when we're in alignment, our nervous system is regulated. And like this is the number one thing out of this whole episode. I need you to know that nervous system regulation is number one. So Google it, look up stuff on YouTube. We started with that breath work, essential oils, meditation, movement. Like there's so many different ways that you can regulate your nervous system, because when your nervous system is regulated, you're in alignment with the juiciest version of you. And that's in alignment with like the blueprint of why you're here. And it helps you to access everything that's in alignment with you, all of your heart's desires, all of your blessings. They can find you when you're in that alignment. Does that make sense? And often our intuition returns quiet at first. At first it's quiet. Okay, especially if you've had surgery, if you've had a deep loss, if things have just gone sideways and you're just getting yourself recalibrated, it's going to start to come back as like a little nudge, a little whisper. And then we're going to build on that. It's going to get stronger and stronger. It doesn't rush. So you may have a feeling, a sense, a small just inner nudge, okay? And it doesn't need to be impressive or big to be real. This is really just you trusting that the answers will be there, trusting that what you're getting is real for you. Okay, so when we're transitioning back into, kind of like getting everything online again, I want you to have so much compassion for yourself, so much compassion and grace for yourself, and just really understanding that, okay, intuition. So have a daily practice. This is what I tell everybody, a daily practice. Those first few moments that you're awake, you're still in that deep, I think it's the theta brain waves. You're still in that juicy brain wave that accesses our subconscious mind. So when you first wake up in the morning, imagine your best life. Imagine that goal done, completed. Imagine hitting those targets and feel it as real as you can. Like step into the version of you that has it. And then I always set the intention. I always say, today's going to be a great day. Something wonderful is going to happen today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, because in those first few moments, you're setting up the energy for your day. And if you're regulated, then it's easier to stay regulated throughout the day, no matter what life throws at you. Does that make sense? And so Dr. Amen from the Amen clinics, he talks about this, giving your brain a directive. Something wonderful is going to happen today. How much fun can we have today? Everything's going to be wonderful, because then our brain is looking for wonderful things. Does that make sense? And that helps us to stay regulated. So even before you get out of bed, I do a meditation first thing in the morning. I do Dr. Joe Dispenza meditations. I do one in the morning, one in the evening. You could do journaling. You could do scripting, go for a walk, do some light stretches, just something to regulate your nervous system. Because if you wake up, your brain's going to instantly go back into the problems from yesterday. Before you go to sleep at night, I want you to have some gratitude. Look at what went right. Like yesterday, I was flying high all day, telling everybody that we hit the markers with YouTube. I was so excited. Yes. And it was like last night before I went to bed, I said, thank you more. That was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So that I go to sleep in that delicious, juicy gratitude. Okay. Because you're marinating in that juicy energy for up to 4 hours after you go to sleep. Okay. And again, those last few moments before you fall asleep and right when you wake up in the morning, those are the juicy, juicy times, because you're still in that state. Okay. Does that make sense? And so you're setting up your day, regulate your nervous system. I do my morning practice. Midday, I kind of check in, take Maggie for a walk. I have something to eat. I might sit and do some breath work. I do breath work and reset my energy before all of my clients. Before we go on lives or reteach, I've meditated. I bring my energy back. I have a whole sequence that I do, and it doesn't take that long. Like if you think we have 24 hours in a day, if you don't have 5 or 10 minutes to sit with this in the morning and sit with this in the evening, you're going to stay scattered. Okay. One of the hardest things that I've had to do was start to limit my phone usage in the evening, because I would sit there and doom scroll, and I would respond to text messages in the evening, and I would look at all the shit that people sent me and all the jokes and all the funny memes and all the stuff. And then I sat there and I thought, no, I have a certain amount of energy for the day. I have a certain amount of energy to create my life and to stay connected to my intuition, to stay connected to my guidance. I'm not going to let it bleed out like that anymore. Does that make sense? And so I started to sort of take, an inventory of what I was doing with my time and where it was going and maybe where I could use it a little bit better. Okay. So have a look at maybe there's a meditation you'd like to do. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Please feel free to reach out. I've got tons of different resources on my website. It's livealifeyoulove.org. We've got meditations you can download. We've got classes coming up. We've got one-on-one sessions. We have so many beautiful things. And I absolutely love helping people to develop their skills, their gifts. I have mediumship level 1 is coming up on February 21st, 22nd, I think, or is it 20th, 20? Anyway, it's this month. It's coming up. I'll include it. I'll include it in the show notes. So you get to hang out with me for 2 days. You'll get to understand what your strongest gift is. We're going to clear anything that's blocking that connection for you to connect with your loved ones on the other side. We're going to have tons of time to practice and have fun. I bring my loved ones in for you to connect with and practice with, so you get that feedback real time that this is real. What you're picking up on is real and it's bang on. Your loved ones are going to come in and play with us. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. So if you feel called, it's for beginners. It's for anyone who would like to learn the foundations. We create a sacred space. You connect with your spirit guide on the other side that helps your mediumship. You know what your strongest gift is. We're clearing things. We're practicing. We're developing. By the end of the 2 days, you're going to be blown away. You will be. Everybody, I've been blessed to teach this thousands of times, and everyone just says, oh my God, I've been doing it all along. I'm getting the signs. I'm connecting with my loved ones. That's what that is. Like it sort of brings everything back together again. If you'd like to come and join us, all the info is in the show notes. I send you so much love. Okay. So bring your energy into your center. Okay. Have so much compassion for yourself. And just know that your intuition is there. Sometimes it just gets a little bit clouded. That's all it is. We just need to bring it back online so you can live a phenomenal life. I send you mountains of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.